youthfulness, youthful age per se, they lose self-confidence, they lose the desire to serve their families or their nation altogether. And well, yeah, I could have been that same, situation, but I decided to take it the other way around. Like someone who's grown through that, yes, but I need to give into something to the society.
That's right.
Yeah.
You look a happy person.
No, thank you.
The Greatest Leader in the World is the title of your book that was launched last December 8th, 2022. What's it all about? The Greatest Leader in the World.
The Greatest Leader in the World is a self-help motivational book for young leaders. In essence, the book explores principles and theories around leadership, mostly on the backdrop of Christianity. And of course, I don't just write about leadership, I don't just write about the principles that way. I get to use stories of people we know, some local heroes and others international heroes. And this book makes sure that, it explains complex circumstances, complex principles per se, in the most simple way that even a child in Form 3 or Form 2 or so can grasp the knowledge from it and, of course, get to change.
I've been flipping through your book and I see The Greatest Leader in the World is a 170-page book of 23 chapters. Someone reading your book should change or metamorphose by the time they are done. How would your reader look like after reading your book? Do you anticipate a change, maybe in mindset or activity?
Yes, someone who goes through the book keenly will change completely. In what sense? You see, there is a mixture of principles and stories in this book. And some of the people talked about in this book went through horrible situations before ever, becoming heroes. And now, when a young person reads such stories, which of course begin every chapter of the book, the young person may either be inspired by the principle or by the story. Now, what does the book talk about? It talks about leadership, it talks about servant or service leadership, it talks about self governance, it talks about resilience, it talks about productivity, it talks about management, accountability, and so many other principles that are lacking in people we may say are bad leaders. If we must become good leaders, it starts from us. That's just what the book is trying to bring out. So it's trying to build good leadership from within out.
Okay. Some of the topics, some of your chapters are a call to service. That's chapter one. A call
Yes.
to service. We have leadership and the world we live in. Be the best. Don't be the first of your class. When we look at be the best, don't be the first of your class. What are you trying to say?
Maybe there's, a little story, behind that particular chapter. I had a friend in secondary school. She's called Baku Karin. Baku Karin was the first in class all through. So from 1 to from 5, she was the first. And she was not just the first in class, she was the first in the entire school, all through her life in that school. Somehow, we used to think that she was born that way. Until one day I visited her, they were plaiting her hair, and while the plaiting was going on, she had her ledger on her laps in open air. I was so surprised that Mbaku Karin, who proves all the times to be so intelligent and has a high IQ, still spends time reading. Somehow, she wasn't just trying to be the best of her class or the school altogether, but she was even trying to be the best version of herself.
That's right.
Now, we have to try as much as possible to be the best versions of ourselves, put in the best that we can put in, not because, we just want to conform and let the world see, okay, this is who we are. No. The idea is we must try as much as possible to be the best in the world. Yeah, and it is a call for young people to avoid being contented with little things, with mediocrity, and rather start striving, for higher heights. And why should young people strive for higher heights? Because being the best is not just enough. If you're the best in a way that serves just you, it's not enough. We have a whole world to build. We have Cameroon to build. We have our villages to build. We have our families to build, and so on. We must strive as much as possible to get to the level where we touch every individual, in our community, country, continent, and so on.
The way you sound, the greatest leader in the world could just be a response to contemporary issues.
Yes, it is a response to contemporary issues. Actually, someone could be thinking, who is that greatest leader per se? There is no greatest leader. Or if at all there should be, I would say it's Jesus Christ. But you know, there's no country, no village, no community or so you would go to, and there is someone who is all perfect. Not in Cameroon. I've been to the United States of America. All the greatness and so on we think about. Yeah, but it's the same realities. And I've gone to other countries around Africa, the same realities. And you realize that it is not a matter of someone being born the greatest, you see, it's someone striving to be the greatest in whatever sphere of influence they find themselves, in the tiniest spheres of influence.
Okay.
Beginning with leading our own lives, or leading in a business which you start, or leading an enterprise, or leading a government institution. Yeah, just being the best, being the greatest in that domain.
Rudolph N. Sang, permit me ask, just how old are you?
I am turning 30 on the 13th of December.
You look a very fulfilled person. Do you have a special message for young people?
Okay, I may look fulfilled, but I think I've not yet started. Someone wrote to me and on Facebook and said, "The sky is your limit," as a comment. And I said, it's not really my limit, that should be my springboard. So I'm striving to be the best so I can serve myself first of all, serve my family, serve my nation, serve Africa, and serve the world all together.
Apart from being an author, are you into other things?
Well, I do many, many other things. I am a teacher. I am a part-time lecturer at the University of Yoda One and the ICT University. I am a businessman. I recently started up, an online school called Dream Academy, where we get to work with people who are learning English language, and of course those who want to travel abroad and need English language proficiency examinations. I am an entrepreneur. Yeah, I'm into farming and so on. All these things together generally get me going. And of course, every other young person could indulge into these different endeavors just to make sure that you have something to eat. Someone asked me a question the other day that what is the greatest challenge, or what are the greatest challenges that leaders get to face? And I said, well, the greatest challenge that a leader will face is poverty, lack of resources, lack of finances, and so on. Because we have many people doing horrible things just because they don't have what to eat. So they need to do something, even if it's out of their will, even if it's out of morality and so on, just to have what to eat. A message I would like to pass on to young people is you should be resilient. Resilience here would mean being patient, being hardworking, and being extremely hopeful, and always.
Rudolph N. Sang, author of The Greatest Leader in the World. It was a pleasure having you on board.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful.